Welcome to Bones of Steel yoga class, a yoga class specially designed for keeping your bones and muscle system strong and healthy. This class is especially suited to those people who want to manage or prevent osteoporosis and osteopenia. And it's also a great class for anyone who's over 40 or wants to keep their bones and muscle system strong. Enjoy well-being for life. Before we begin, there's a couple of principles that you should be aware of. The first is we want to keep good focus on our posture throughout this practice. Our goal is to maintain the natural curves along the spine and eliminate the problems that could lead to spinal fractures later in life. The two key ones are developing an increased or hyperkyphosis curvature of the upper back spine. So we want to avoid getting that upper back too flexed. And the second one is we want to decrease the head forward posture. That's when the head comes forward at the shoulders. This can increase a lot of pressures through the spine, leading to fractures. If you want to check your posture yourself, you could go to the wall and use the wall as a guide. Position the feet just away from the wall, hip width. The bottoms touch, upper back touches, and head should touch with the chin level. If you have got problems with upper back curvature, you may find that your spine is bent forward from the wall, or if you have trouble with head forward posture, you may find your head is too far away from the wall and it's very difficult to get your head back to the wall. The second principle we want to look at is the strengthening of the spine and spinal muscles. We can do this with back extensions such as the cobra, or we can do this with twists such as the seated twist, keeping the spine extended. The third principle is to strengthen the muscles and bones of the thigh and hip. We can do this with standing postures which open and close the hips. A good one example is the warrior number 2. We basically want to strengthen and stress the bones, holding these practices for at least 12 seconds, but probably not longer than 72 seconds because the bones go refractory after this time and the stimulus has no more effect. Through this practice, we're generally holding them between 15 and 30 seconds. When you do the practice, to add to the stimulus, you could isometrically contract your muscles. Example here would be to push your front leg forward and your back leg backward until you feel the muscles of the thigh and the hips tensioning, activating. But do this careful not to strain and build up slowly over a few weeks. The next important principle is our core. We want to maintain the stability and control of our pelvic and upper back core while maintaining the natural curves. Good practices to do this are the tabletop or plank postures. The last principle is important to do is to maintain balance and reduce our risk of falls. You can do this simply by standing on one leg, such as example is the tree posture. If your balance is not steady, make sure you do have something that's stable close by to support with. We're now going to begin the special Bones of Steel yoga class. Let's begin laying down on your back. Make sure you have all the tools that you'll need close by. You may need a strap, a blanket, and a chair. Laying down on your back, knees bent up, position yourself so that everything feels comfortable and even. Head's resting, shoulder blades resting back, arms to the sides, spines resting, and pelvises supported evenly. There should be a very slight lower back curve, even with this position. If you need to check, you could just put a hand into the lower back and see that it still has a little bit of space behind it. It's not flat. We don't want it flat, pushed back. We're going to begin our yoga practice with awareness of breath. We make use of the breath throughout the practice. You want to breathe slow and easily through the nose, allowing the natural rise and fall of the belly. Inhaling, belly rises, exhale, belly falls. Focus this awareness in the upper abdomen and base rib area, keeping the shoulders and chest easy. We use this area of focus because through the practices we'll be toning the lower belly tummy muscles. This helps to center ourselves and bring our awareness within the body. Let's begin the first yoga practice now. Full body stretch. Take the legs out long, lengthen down to the heels, firming through the thigh muscles. Reach the arms to the floor overhead. You may not quite get there, but do what you can manage. Lengthen out through the fingers, stretching up away from the head. Lengthen down through the heels, stretching away from the hips and pelvises. Feel that length and openness through the spine. Feel the breath, gently moving in the upper abdomen and base ribs. Smooth, not harsh. Really feel that stimulus of the stretch as you lengthen, adding to the stimulus as you inhale, slightly softening as you exhale. Very good. Let's release the arms back by the sides, return the knees bent up, feet flat. Bring the heels close to the bottom, in line with the buttocks. Preparing for the bridging posture, a great back strengthener. Draw the shoulder blades down and back so that the front shoulders are open. It could be helped by having the palms turned upward. Bring the upper arm bones back towards the floor as well. You may help doing this by having the elbows bent up. Keep the necks long and released. Now, as we breathe in, we're going to press through the heels and lift the bottoms up, engaging all those back muscles. We'll come back down and repeat this twice more as a warm-up. Inhaling up, exhaling down. This third time we're going to hold up in the bridge practice. Keep those shoulder blades active and drawn back, upper arms drawn back, necks long. Feel that extension through the back spine, the back buttocks, pressing down through the heels. Knees stable. Breathing in and out through the upper abdomen, base ribs. We're holding this for about 20 seconds. Remember to keep active with the action. Keep stimulating through using those back muscles, buttock muscles, but not straining. Good. As you exhale, lower back down. Let the bottom rest. Take a breath. Let's prepare for the core twist, a core activation practice. We want to keep the natural curve in the lower back. If you need, you could even put a little towel roll into that lower back to help. We're going to take the arms out to the sides. Actually, before we start, we may just prepare the awareness of the lower tummy. So bring your hands onto the lower belly area below the navel. Take a breath in, and as you breathe out, draw the tummy flat, feeling the hollowing action. Do this in a way that you're not flattening the spine. Keep the curvature of the spine. So it's a little bit more like a pancake action. So this is the action we want when you do that core twist. Flattening, but not hard bracing. So you still need to be able to breathe. There's two ways to do the core twist, with feet down or feet lifted. Let's start the easiest version first. Arms out to the sides, wide, braced. Keep those shoulder blades open and stable. Inhale, and then as you exhale, draw the tummies in and roll the knees over to the left. With control and stability, bring it up and roll to the left. To the right, sorry. Come up, and let's repeat this or add on. Bring the knees in line with the hips, legs out like a tabletop. Not too high up with the feet. Stabilize the core tummy muscles. Draw them in. Take a breath in, and as you breathe out, roll both knees towards the left. With control. Inhale up. Roll both knees to the right. Keep that action going 3 more times each way. So when we do this core twist, you want to do it 5 times at least each way with slow control. Maintain the lower back curve. Keep the tummies gently flat in, especially into the twist. Flowing with the breath. Keep the back shoulders stable. This is an active practice. It's not a lazy stretch. Keep pressing those shoulder blades and upper arms back to the floor. So coming to the last side to the right. Back to the middle. Lower the feet to the floor. Take a short breath, pause, arms to the sides. And now we're going to come up to sit and then to hands and knees posture. Hands and knees posture is called tabletop. Position the hands just forward of the shoulders, in line with the shoulders, fingers long, weight even. Knees under hips, tops of feet long and active. Make sure the spine has its natural curves, lower back curve and neck, with the head in line with the body. Elbows just off lock. Draw the tummy muscles in. This is level 1 position. If you're just starting, you might just stay with this practice. To intensify the action, we can do 2 things, the griffin or the plank. Let's start with the griffin. Extend 1 foot back, stabilize the pelvis, keep the tummy slightly in as you breathe. Raise the leg and extend the heel away, not too high, level with the pelvises. Lengthen, lengthen, stable. Feel the activation. You could even intensify by reaching the opposite arm forward, the flying griffin. But if you're too unstable, leave this out. Very good. Release the arm, release the leg, take the second side. Lengthen away. Stable pelvis, not twisting or leaning. Keep the natural curves, head in line. Tummy's in. Feel that breath. Remember, we want to stimulate, so we're lengthening out. Active through our muscle system. Very good. Release. Another variation is the plank. So from the tabletop, extend 1 foot back, toes tucked, active through the quads, the thighs, other foot back. Keep a straight line from heel to pelvis to shoulders to head and crown. Elbows off lock. Tummy muscles in. This is a strong practice, so if it's too strong for you today, just drop back to the tabletop. Breathe and hold steady. Feel that action. Lengthen through heels, press the palms, pull the tummies in. Think as though you're drawing the inner thighs towards each other. Lengthen through the crown. Active. You want to stimulate those bones. Very good. Release the knees. Take a short pause. Get your breath. Then lower yourself down onto your tummy. Some people may like to use a blanket for comfort. You could be positioned under the upper abdomen to aid this first back extension practice, the cobra. Lengthen out through the legs. They may be hip width or slightly closer according to back comfort. Draw hands by the side base ribs, elbows up, in. Draw shoulder blades back and the lower edge of the shoulder blades snugging into the base ribs. Careful not to jam the shoulder blades together and stress the upper back spine. Keep the chin in, inhale and lift up into the cobra. Coming up as a warm-up, exhaling back down, and repeat twice more, then hold. Use the back extension muscles. Keep the head stable. Don't let it rock. Inhale up. Hold now. We want to hold strong using those upper back muscles. Keep the chin in and the head back. Lengthen through the crown. Extend out through those legs. Feel the strength. If you can't do this variation, you could bring the arms by the side hips. Lengthen out through those fingertips and work the back arms. But let's feel that action of the muscle system, stimulating those spinal bone muscles. Breathing. Slight pulsing up and down with that breath. Very good. Release it down. Soften for a moment, preparing for the locust, a variation of the back extension. You may want to have the blanket support slightly lower. In this case, we're going to work legs and upper bodies all together. So let's action like the cobra, but this time lift the legs up as well. This time we're going to keep the arms by the sides, near the hips and pelvises. Reach back with the fingers towards the heels. Lengthen from heel to crown. Keep the shoulder blades back. Feel the muscles working on the back arms. Chins in. Feel that stimulus of the back body working strongly. The balance point resting on the ground. Remember to keep breathing. You can almost see those bones getting stronger as you do this practice. Keep that inner smile, no grimacing. Remember, at any time you need to rest, that's fine. You may need to take a few weeks to build up your strength to hold these practices so long. Let's exhale and release. Take a breath, pause. Then when you're ready, come back up to hands and knees. And we're going to transition into your chair. Taking a seat at the front of your chair. Sitting, sit bones level and stable. Feet in line with the hips and knees. Feel the grounded feet. Feel the spine lengthened and aim to get that alignment. Ears aligning to shoulders, shoulders aligning to hip pelvis area. Keeping the curves. Tummies lightly in. Let's emphasize the length and extension. Raise both arms up. Really lengthen Now we're coming into a twist. Twisting to the right first. Left hand to right knee, right hand to the chair base. Actively push down and extend the spine even more. Open the chest and come around into twist. Feel the engagement of your waist muscles and the small muscles along the spine. Remember, we don't want any hunch here. There's a slight pulse with the breath. The breath is generally a little smaller in this practice. Keep the knees stable, pressing down through those sit bones, lifting up through the crown. Very good. Ease out of the twist. Let's take it to the left. Stretch tall. And now come to the twist, second side. See how straight through the upper back radical is. The shoulder blades are back. And spread. Neck's long. Press down, lift tall. Work those waist muscles and spinal twisting muscles. Get that bone stimulus. Twists are an excellent way to stimulate the front parts of the spine and help prevent spinal fractures. Very good. Inhale and come back out. You're going to prepare for the half chair. Bring the heels back. Almost as though you were going to stand up. Flat feet, grounded heels. Put one hand on the chest, one hand in the lower back. Keep those extensions so the chest is open and the lower back curve, and bend forward from the hips halfway. Feel that extension, don't halfway, only a little bit, that's it. Now, keep those curved and take the arms out to the sides like an aeroplane. Draw the shoulders back and wide. Press down through the heels. Feel that strength through the upper back spine. If you want to work this a little harder, lift the bottoms just off the chair so you're in the chair posture. Tails are out, we're not tucking under. Be careful not to jam your lower back spine. Keep the tummy muscles in and lengthen from crown to tail. Chair posture. Stimulus through the legs and the spine. Very good. Relax down. Take a short breath. And then we're going to come up to stand. Standing in mountain posture. Clear all your space, ready for your standing practices. Feet at hip width, parallel. Knees off lock, pressing down through the heels, aligning everything. If Radhika turns side on to show the importance of alignment. Pelvises in line or slightly forward of the ankles. The neutral curve, so you still got that curve of the lower back. Tummy's in, breathing into those base ribs, upper abdomen, shoulder blades gently back and open, so the front shoulders are open, so palms forward can help. Reach down with the fingertips, reach up with the crown, draw the chin level. We're aiming to get our ears in line with our shoulders, shoulders in line with our pelvises. Press down as you reach up. You can extend the practice by raising arms up overhead into the extended mountain. Reach up, stretch down. Feel that activation. Good. Now, interlock the fingers if you can and place the hands behind the back of the head. Keep the chin slightly in, aligned, and slightly lean back with the head into the hands and feel the muscle activation through the back neck and upper back spine. Hearts open. Careful not to jam into the lower back spine. To help, you keep pressing down through the heels and reach up through the crown, elbows open. Keep pressing the head back without lifting the chin into the hands to stimulate those muscles in the back neck. Good. Release up, stretch the arms up, take a breath in, breathe out, lower those arms back down to the sides. Radhika's going to turn forward again for this next practice. Stand in the middle of your mats, facing the mat long edge. Take your feet apart. Take them wide, wider than the hips. Just check and see that you're parallel. Use the back edge of the mat to guide it if you need. But don't go to the back edges because you'll fall off your mats. Now, we're going to go to the right first. Turn the right foot out 90 degrees. Adjust the back toes inwards and the heel backwards to be comfort for your hips. Torso faces towards the long edge and the pelvis is level. Bring your knee bent out over the ankle on the right side. Keep it aligned in the ankle and aligned to the toes. Feel the stimulus and strength. Those who know how to engage your pelvic floor muscles. Draw the pelvic floor muscles slightly up and in. Draw the tummy slightly in. Press the left foot away from you and the right foot forward away from you. So feel like you're spreading the legs apart, but they're not moving, and feel the engagement of those inner leg muscles. Those quads, the front right foot, and the outer hips on the back. Arches lifted. Raise the arms up and spread them apart. Reach out through the fingers and really feel that stimulus of the whole body and muscle system working hard. You can look towards the right if neck is comfortable. Engage all those muscles. An alternative would be to try to squeeze the legs towards each other as well. So right heel in, inner right foot in, and so you feel the insides of your hips and back hamstring muscles engaging. You can change between the two to feel that isometric actions. Keep lifting up through the crown. Very good. Release the arms. Come back to the middle. Take a breath. Let's do the second side. Warrior number 2, left side. Position the knee. Level the pelvises. Lift the pelvic floor. Tummy muscles in. Lengthen to the crown. Activate the thigh muscles. Press out forward through the left. Reach back with the right. Reach the arms up and out, spreading wide. Stimulate out through those arms in an active way, but not hunching the shoulders up. Breathe into those upper abdomens and base ribs. Strong, active action. You can do the squeeze reversal, bending your left heel back towards you and your inner foot towards you so you feel the inside action of your hip muscles and back thigh muscles. Very good. Come back to the middle position. Let's come out to the right side again. Warrior 2 to start with, preparing for the extended angle or long side stretch. We're going to place the right hand onto the thigh or the forearm onto the thigh according to your flexibility. Bring the other hand behind your back and extend the spine. Open the heart and draw the shoulders back and down. Check you got the lower back curve and lengthen from heel to crown. Make sure the head hasn't popped forward and the chin is level. Now reach that left arm skyward or reach the arm towards the ear, palm facing towards the ear. Lengthen, reach out through the fingers, reach that back left foot down to the ground. Press the outer side edge of the foot into the floor and press the big toe ball into the floor. Press the front heel down. Spread the legs apart. Feel the activation of muscles. Pelvic floor up, tummy slightly in. Breathe. Good. Let's release and take the second side. Feet level, rotate out. Left knee aligned. So bring the hand or the forearm to the thigh, left side. Other hand behind the back. Shoulder blades back and open. Extend the upper back spine. Keep the head back in line. It will want to pop forward, chin level. Now reach that arm up and out. With a strong stimulus, spread the legs. Engage the pelvic floor. Draw the tummies lightly in. Breathe into those base ribs and upper abdomen. Stretch out through the arm. Stretch back and down through that right foot, outer edge, and press the big toe ball down on that right big toe. Active action. Excellent. Slowly release back to parallel position. Preparing for our standing balance, the warrior number 3. We're going to make use of the chair. Come to face the chair, placing the hands on the chair as though you're going to do the griffin practice. Make sure the load is through the legs and not the arms, so the legs don't go back too far. Radical, bring the legs a little closer. Press down through the hands, spread the shoulder blades and draw them down the back. Keep the heads level, tummies in. Shift the weight and extend the right foot back. Lift it up as much as you can, but not higher than the hips. Reach out through the heel rather than the toes and lengthen from crown to heel. Just like the griffin, check you haven't lifted the right pelvis up top. Keep level and careful not to lean to the left. Press down through the outer edge of that left foot and the big toe ball. Engage those hip muscles. Feel the strength and stimulation. If you feel good with this, you could lift one hand or both hands away from the ground, from the support. But if you're really shaky, it's better to keep the hands on the support. Good, let's release and try the second side. Lower the foot, take a breath. Shift the weight and take the left foot back. Reach it away through the heel. Lengthen up through the crown. Tummies in, find those curves along the spine, upper back's open. Shoulder blade wide but drawn back down to the base ribs. Press the outside edge of the left foot or the right foot. Right big toe ball down. Knees just off lock on that right side and work those outer hip muscles. Again, if you feel stable, you could take one hand or both hands away. Remember to breathe. Good, slowly release. Preparing for standing twist. Still facing the chair, come closer. Place right foot up onto the chair. Ground down through that heel. Ground down through the left heel. Lengthen to the crown. Reach both arms high. Keep the hearts open. And let's take a twist, just like you did when you're seated in the chair. So left hand to thigh or knee, other hand out behind the back. Draw shoulders back open, especially on that right side. Open the hearts. Extend through the upper back a bit more, bring the head back. Back in line with the spine, chin's level. Keep working those waist muscles and spinal muscles as you go into the twist. Keep that right bent knee stable, not twisting outward. This is the reverse of the long side stretch. In that there we opened out through the hip. This time we're closing into the hip to create that hip activation, that bone stimulus. Keep pressing down through that left heel, those feet. Good, slowly release. Prepare for the second side. Press down to the left heel, down to the right, lengthen up tall, open the hearts, twist, right-handed leg or thigh, other hand behind the back, draw shoulder open, especially on the left, lift the breastbone gently, pull the tummies in, engage the waist muscles and the spinal muscles, keep the head back, chin level. The arms are not doing the work so much as the waist and spinal and hip muscles. Keep pressing down, arches up. Good, slowly release. Take a breath. And we're preparing for the balance. So remember, if you need support for your balance, you would come to a wall or use a chair for stability. Let's begin by bringing the feet closest together. Assessing your balance, just close your eyes for a moment and just see how stable you feel. Do you shake around a lot? Open your eyes and focus. Try stepping one foot in front of the other foot, like you're rocking on a tightrope. Just get a sense of your balance here. Once again, this could be challenged by eyes being closed. Open your eyes and change to the second side. Eyes closed if you want for the challenge. But be safe, don't fall. Keep breathing. Come, open eyes, feet again aligned. Preparing for the single stance. Shift the weight towards the left. Lift the right heel. Engage the outer left hip muscles so the pelvises are up and level, and careful not to lean to the left. See if you can even lift the right toes off the floor. Bring the knee level with the hips if you can. Really get stable. Stable. Not leaning. If you need, use the wall for support. If you're very shaky or leaning too much. Keep working those outer hip muscles. Let's try the second side. Weight to right. Lift heel. Activate the right outer hip muscles. Level up the pelvises. Gauge the tummy. Lift the foot from the floor if stable, or up aligned with the hip. Good, let's prepare for tree. Come back, weight to the left. Stabilize the pelvises. This time as you lift your heel, you're going to turn the knee outward, but not the pelvis, and place that foot off the floor, either above the ankle, or if your hip flexibility permits, above the knee. But you don't have to do above the knee. Just so long as you get that foot off the floor, you're getting a lot of benefit. Level up those pelvises. Really work that outer left hip muscle. Careful not to lean to the left. Stable. You can practice these balances many times a day if you want it. It's a great one to do waiting for the kettle to boil. Remember to breathe. Very good. Let's try the second side. Position foot above the ankle or above the knee, just so long as it's off the floor. Knee turned out, but not the pelvises. They face forward. Active through the outer right hip muscles, pressing down. Lift tall, engage the cores. Breathe. Heads back and level. Hands can be on the wall, as Radhika shows. Heart pressing together at the heart. Very good. Excellent. Take your breath. We're going to complete this series now with the relaxations. So for this, we're going to come back onto the ground on your back. But grab your belt and make sure your blanket's close by, as you might want to make use of that too. In fact, we can set the blanket up for this practice even for now. So if you take your blanket, make it into a long fold, and then fold that into half. And I'm going to get you to lay back onto that so that your pelvis is still on the ground, but your spine and head are going to be supported on the blanket. You can even have slight extra support for the head if not needed, but not too far forward. We don't want to poke out that head. So Radhika doesn't need it, so she could be flat. This is a nice rest position. It keeps the spine open and that natural curve in the lower back. So for the single leg stretch, we're going to take your belt and place it around the right foot. We're going to extend that leg up in the air as much as you can. You could cross the band over just to aid the support and draw the elbows out and down by the side hips. By the side hips. And draw the shoulder blades back. Lengthen to the crown, tummy's in, and just bring the leg up where flexibility permits. Radhika's flexible, so the leg is high, but for you, you may have your leg out the other way. Yeah. Just find a place where you can have that leg extended and long. You can, if flexibility permits, have your left leg long and flat, like full body stretch, reaching out through the heel, the toes up. So even in this more relaxing action, we still want to be engaging those muscles and aware of our postures. Careful not to hunch the shoulders. Keep the chins level. The pelvis is level. Feel the stretch through the back hamstring. Breathing. Very good. Let's prepare the second side. So release back to bent knees. Take the belts around the second leg. Band can be crossed for more stability. Position the shoulder blades and arms back. Get that good posture. Think as though you're doing the full body stretch action. You can keep your right leg bent or lengthen it out. Find the place where you feel the comfortable stretch, not strain or pain. If there's too much nervy stretch with this, let the foot be less flexed, the foot. So you could have the toes a bit more pointed and that would ease it off a little. Level pelvises, reaching out through that right heel, lengthening to the crown. Core tummy lightly active, breathing into that upper abdomen and base ribs. Very good. Release, belts away. Make any little adjustments for comfort. And then bring yourself into the relaxation position. Legs out and apart. If there is a little bit of back tension, you could have some support under the knees. Arms now a little out to the sides, palms up. And just let everything fall back to the floor. Let the tensions begin to dissolve away now. No more contraction needed. Let the tummy soften so the breath goes lower down and deeper. Rise and fall of the belly, long and slow. Letting all tensions go. Soft toes, soft knees and thighs, soft hips, softness along the spine, softness to the neck and shoulders, soft arms and fingers, soft jaw, eyes closed if comfortable, soft chest, soft abdomen. Relaxation. Allowing all that work now to come to its point where your body now starts to build the strength in the body. So you stimulate, and then the healthy relaxation helps the restoration, helps the body to do all the things and necessary repairs for that to happen, so the muscles and bones can become stronger. This is why sleep is also important as a recovery tool. You can choose to rest here for as long as you need, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. But this video now is going to come to a close. Remember, when you do come out of relaxation, deepen the breath, bring the legs bent up, roll to your side first before coming up to sit. Thanking you from Yoga Plus Therapies, Radhika and James. Till next time, Namaste.